What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcast for the next episode of the Log Dog! Okay, well, that's enough enthusiasm for today, I think. You ever been around one of those people that's like that, just bursting with sunshine all the time? Like, oh my god, there's so much sunshine going on right now. Like, you're essentially the little bag man from Little Big Planet, but you're stuffed with light and sunshine and happiness instead of being stuffed with cotton and mylar and whatever the hell else goes inside of stuffed animals. I don't really know anymore. I've been out of the stuffed animal game for a long time. I'm a grown man. I don't have a lot of stuffed animals. I have a couple that like my grandmama gave me that I hold on to for sentimentality and things like that. Keep them in the closet and just be like, yeah, I remember getting that when I was like 11 years old on my birthday or whatever. Still, sentimentality aside, not a lot of stuffed animals around. I have plushies. I have collectible plush action figures, okay? That's what I keep around my house right now. But welcome back to The Long Dark. Today we're basically doing the same thing we do in every other episode, which is run around until we find good stuff, and then we truck it on back home to our little bunker that we live inside of. I like our bunker. It's a pretty cool bunker, and I like the way we have it outfitted, too. I'd be willing, at this point, to hike in all the stuff from our other base and bring it out to the bunker, although it would probably take like 35 trips and it would take forever. I might do it over the weekend. I don't know. We'll see what happens. This is going to be the last episode that I record until next week. I don't know when you guys are going to see it, but anyways, it's Thursday at the time of this recording. Thursday the 22nd or 23rd or something. I don't know. I'm bad at numbers and I'm also bad at dates. Let's go right there. Okay. I need some light so that I can see. I know most people would warn against using your lanterns, but those people, he loves pancakes. I enjoy this man's respect for the short stack. Right there. That is what I am all about. I love pancakes, but I like waffles better. Is that heresy? I don't know. Some people seem to like pancakes better, but I like waffles. Whenever I go to IHOP, it disappoints me because waffles are like the same price, but you only get like one waffle. And they'd be like, but it's a Belgian waffle. And I'd be like, yeah, but it's one waffle versus like 15 pancakes and all the fixins. Like, I don't know if one waffle is not enough for me. Do you understand the breadth of my waffle desire, my waffle lust? I really, really like waffles to a ridiculous extent. As in, like, I would choke a fool over some waffles. I'd be like, you know what we're doing today? We're fighting over some waffles. We aren't friends anymore. Touche, sir. Touche. On guard? I almost said en garde because my brain was thinking phonetically, but on guard, sir. We fight over these waffles today for the final wafflage. I'm going to take all the water out of there because it's faster than doing it the other way. There we go. A little bit more potable water.
I can use this.
We're encumbered right now, but that's okay because we just finished looting. I'm going to try and go back across the street. We'll drop this stuff off, and then we're going to explore the remainder of the zone. I keep hoping that we'll find the entrance to the next zone. We're not going to go there just yet. I don't know if I'm going to play. So what I might do is I might actually play over the weekend and just sort of let my supplies dwindle down a little bit and just like live off of my stuff for a while and come back on like day 45 or 50 and be like, oh my god, we're still alive. I'm trying to get all the chivos on this one. I'd love to make it the day 200 on this playthrough. I don't think I'll do it on YouTube just because that would be way too much. Considering we're doing about a day and a half to 2 days in every episode, that means this thing would just like never end. It would turn into the Mountain Blade series all over again. And unfortunately, what happened with Mountain Blade is that like conquering the map was taking so long that I was just like, you know what? We've won the game already. We've taken like 15 castles. It's taken us like 30 episodes. We're just going to keep doing the same thing, like a castle every other episode. Why not just like assume that we won the game already? You just won the game. That's what I said right there. How often do you hear that? I just said you just won the game instead of you just lost the game. I never understood that trend. I always felt like I was too old. I came in on the back end of that one. By the time I started going to conventions and stuff like that, which I'm going to say this very, very carefully because I know there's going to be people that are be like, what? Like I talked about LARPing a while back on my channel, and I said I must have worded something because I tried to be really respectful of it because like whatever, I always want the Nerdcast to feel like a welcoming place. So like whatever aspect of nerdery or geekery you are into, far be it from me to judge you. Like that's all good. Do whatever makes you happy. I don't mind. But I guess I must have explained myself poorly in that situation because I remember I had like a small contingency of LARPers that were like, Splattercat's an asshole, and I was like, well, I must have said something wrong. I don't know. But either, oh, it's full up. Okay, so since we're full up, what I can do now then, I can start putting these over here. Just kind of like line them up, our little lantern supply here. And that did not unencumber us. So what do we have? We have a basic Winter coat. Okay, so a basic Winter coat can go in there. It's kind of like the Kmart coat, I guess. We've got that coat right there. Another premium jacket that we can hold on to for a while. I thought I got most of the clothing out of here. Maybe I'll throw the wolf coat in there because we're not really going to be working on it anytime soon. I think water might be weighing me down, actually. Are we full up right here? We're not full up. I think the water is... Well, I don't know what's actually weighing me down. I always have way too much weight in this game, and I never know what it's being caused by. Got a can of dog food right there. I don't think that's the issue, but we can get rid of it. The rifle does weigh a lot, but I prefer to carry it around with me because you never know. It's always like something. Every time I don't bring a rifle, I end up with like 5 wolves showing up and killing me prematurely so that it ruins my playthrough. I think the salmon's what got us. Okay, let's head back out. I want to go down the road to the left, and I want to see what's out there. I'm an explorer like this. I enjoy doing things like this, especially when I go places that have available hiking. I just wander around. I just like get out and go. And I just kind of like, I'll do it in real life, to be honest. I walked down the street the other day and just started going down random side roads. Granted, I grew up here, so I know every single side road and every single back road like the back of my hand. I'm better on the other side of town, though. Like, it's a good thing that I live on the side of town that I do now, because I grew up on the other side of town, and the two sides of town are actually very, very different. So what goes up and around back here? Is this another access point for us to get up and at a further... Let's check this because it looks a little bit more interesting. I'm going to get the gun out right now because it takes a little while to whip it out, and if there's a wolf around, I'd also like to take a shot at a deer. If we take a crack at a deer sometime soon, I'd like to do that because I'd like to start working on getting the deer boots together. The boots that I love dearly. Oh, look, there's a little private cabin up here, and it looks like it's 2 stories. I don't see anything else, though. I don't see a prepper cache or anything else in here. I don't know exactly where the prepper cache can pop in. If it can be in any of the 3 zones, it just got a whole lot more difficult to find. I don't think I've ever found it before. I don't recall it. I've seen other people get it in their series. I wandered around forever, though, in the first season of our Long Dark playthrough looking for it, and I just couldn't bring it together. There's some lantern fuel on top of this, too. I can barely see it. It's a little bit dark up in here. You'd think with the light coming through the windows, it would be all right, but I guess that it's not. It sort of depends what side of your house is on the shady side, too. Like, if your house, for example, my apartment is completely and totally in shade, like, all the time, except for the bare tip of the morning where the sun comes in through the front of the house. And my old house that I lived at before I moved here, you can see it in some of the old video logs. The old house that I used to live in, it actually was in the shade perpetually. No sun ever hit our house. It was freezing in the winter, and in the summer it was hot but pleasant compared to everybody else's house. Okay. It's because our apartment was actually surrounded by redwood trees in the front. Like, we had a big bulge of redwood trees. There's like 5 or 6 redwood trees in the front, and the intertwining branches actually kept sunlight from coming through, and so pretty pleasant place to live. I actually like it I like my old apartment a lot better than where I live right now. This is my first bottom floor apartment, and I'm not enjoying the experience. It's hearing people stomp around all day every single day. I know they can't help it. Like, I'm not that guy that gets mad about it and like bangs on the ceiling because you can't do anything about it. The place is built like a cracker shack still, or a cracker box still. At the same time, it can be obnoxious at 3 in the morning hearing your neighbors upstairs like jumping around and stuff like that. They might not even be jumping around. I don't even know. They might just be walking around their house normally. And so I don't complain about it or anything like that because I actually think it's just normal activity. Oh, these people had a dog. Anyways, I treat it like normal activity because I figure that's probably what it is. Our neighbors upstairs, I'm on good terms with them and they seem pretty friendly, so... And it's an older couple, so I doubt they're really doing like a whole lot of jumping around anyways. I think it's just normal walking. That's all that it is. We got a sweater up in there. Yeah, I don't know. Lots of stuff getting stolen here and stuff too. I don't know. It's been weird moving back to where I come from. I lived like in a college town for 4 or 5 years because I was in college. And it was like odd how you could just like leave stuff out on your deck and not have to worry about it. Like when I'm out here, I see people leave stuff on their deck, like their bike and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, that shit'd be gone like in a heartbeat. I wouldn't leave my bike out there. I've had my laundry stolen like 2 or 3 times now. Like I've had to buy like whole new wardrobes because people just go through and steal my stuff. Like, it's just, I don't know. I just don't know. Like, I love where I live, but people out here super rednecky and hood ratty. Like, you love them for it, but you hate them for it at the same time sometimes. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, it's part of the intrinsic character of like the location, and some people like do that deal like in a charming way. But then you've got the people that just... I don't know, just a detriment to society at large. Like, there's no reason for this human being to exist. Like, the fact that they do exist is just a drain on everybody around them because they're thieves, they're nasty, they're constantly causing problems up at 2 in the morning, making a racket, shouting, and getting in fights in the parking lot. That's the only difference. There's a lot less fights in the parking lot here than there was in my college town. That's the big difference. Oh, we got a deer over there. The ballistics in this game are really, really odd, so I can't promise this shot's actually going to work. See, the deer, I think they increased the range at which the deer see you now, too. Because I always feel like the deer see me a lot earlier than they used to. Does this go around and actually reconnect to this up here? Oh, it does. So it looks like there's another little road up here. Oh, it swivels up the mountain. Well then, she'll be coming around the mountain when we come, indeed. Let's keep going. Let's see what's up this way. I realize we're a little bit encumbered right now. How we've picked up 10 kilograms of loot already. I don't know. Maybe I should just run around naked. Maybe that would solve the issue so that I could loot more efficiently, but I don't know. Like I said, it's part of the intrinsic character, sort of like the... I don't even know how to describe it, to be honest. Like, I don't know what words to use, but it's a frustration for me. It is a frustration for me. Somebody went through my laundry a couple days ago and stole, like, my coat, and they stole a couple of my pairs of pants. And, like, the laundry room was locked, and so it's somebody that lives here, and there's just sort of, like, that galling feeling of this guy. They're not even, like, a good criminal. They're a shitty criminal. They shit where they eat, and they're gonna get caught eventually. And then somebody's just gonna, like plaka, and just, like, take them out. And then they're gonna act like they didn't deserve it. Every single time they'd be like, I don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, he saw you wearing his jacket is what he saw. Now you're trying to play it off. Be like, I bought that jacket last week. My ass you did. Pulled that thing out of the washing machine last week. Is there anything over here? Some old man's beer. But yeah, it's a frustration. There was a lot of fights in the parking lot when I lived at the college town, though. Not as much of that here. Occasionally there'd be people out fighting, but people keep that on the down low here. People get trigger happy with calling the police, and most people don't want the police around out here. So, given that fact, out in the college town, I would say like probably once a week in the summer, there'd be somebody rolling around in the parking lot just acting a fool. The joys of living and renting and all that fun stuff. So, that's there. Is this just a random trailer out here? Like, what is the point of this trailer? And what is that over there? Looks like those are log holders. So what do we got going on inside this building? You'll forgive me for a moment while I... Got a flare right there. Light a match real quick and go through this stuff. Nothing on the shelves. Plastic container, but I can go through that once the light goes out. I don't want to rest right now. I want that candy bar, but it's little and it's hard to target. Ah, shit. There goes our light. Well, free chair. Anybody want a free chair? I saw a guy pull, like, a chair out of a dumpster one time and try and sell it. It was a hobo. He pulled a chair out of a dumpster and tried to sell it for, like, 85 cents to somebody. Crackheads running around trying to make deals that nobody wants. I'd be like, first and foremost, just by the principles of supply and demand, who wants a beat-ass chair from a dumpster, dude? Not even 85 cents worth of... I think you're just better off panhandling. I will pay you to not give me the chair. I don't want that chair anywhere near anything that it looks like it has lice. You know how nasty a chair has to look for where you think it has lice? Chairs don't have hair. Chairs don't have hair at all. What do the lice get down into? I don't know, but they're up inside that chair. They're nestled. They are nestled. I kind of want to see what's on top of this mountain, but I don't know if that gets too steep. Let's go have a look. The point of this episode was exploration, right? Let's walk up some hills. That's like 85% of all exploration. You stop every time you get to one of the hills. You won't be exploring much. We might find something up here. Can't promise it. But it looks like it actually flattens out up here, so there might be something cool. It might just be blank space, too, but who knows? Looks like we got some misty forest action going on up here. Way better than steamy forest action. Forest action, it agitates my allergies. That's all that it is. When them trees are having sex, I just duck for cover. I try to get the hell out because... I am not enjoying it. Like right now we got like cottonwoods and everything going crazy right now where I live. And that's part of the reason why my face perpetually feels like it just has ants all over it. Like, no! I hate allergy season. It makes me just upset. So it looks like this connects to the path that takes us over to the ranger station on this side. This doesn't look like it has a function or a form for right now. I'm going to walk back to our home base and then I will meet back up with you once we get down to the road down there. I think that's the best way to spend our time. I don't want to waste too much time with all of you. Just sort of like walking around accomplishing nothing, so I'll see y'all there. What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back. Sorry about that. I made a little cut right there because I didn't want to run around stuff on camera. We got a couple hours of daylight left. It's looking a little bit rough right now, but I think we could still get some scouting done, and I'm having a good time just exploring the new maps. I think that's part of the majesty of this game. Sort of, I guess the majesty might be overstating. It might be a little bit too blustery. I might be sort of like bowing a bit too deeply still. Part of the magic of the game, I guess, and part of the enjoyment of this game is simply like not having an objective and wandering around, and I also think that's the weakness of the game. But let's go see what's in that house over there. We already hit the one on the hill in the center. I don't know if the centralized location is the better choice. I know that I had talked about being out there. I just didn't feel like making too many campfires. That was my biggest issue with the central location right up there, is that you have to make a campfire every 5 minutes, and it takes a hell of a long time to gather up all that wood because it doesn't have like a barrel or anything inside. You'd still have to gather up the wood, I suppose, either way. It's just I don't know. I have like stacks of campfires accumulating outside from the couple days that I spent there living. We didn't even get one day done today. We got 10 minutes left in the episode, but still, I am actually not believing that we're going to accomplish anything today. I wonder if this goes, does it go seriously all the way around the lake? Like, can I walk over to there where that mountain is? Because that's a seriously large zone if you're able to do that. That would be a really, really huge accomplishment for the developers, given the size of the development team. Like, that's a big free-roaming map. It'd make you wonder. I doubt that you can. My guess is that it probably becomes like lake water out there somewhere and it becomes impassable. Still, kind of a cool concept. I mean, I really, really like what they have so far with the game. Thought I heard wolf prints or paw prints coming at me, but I don't think that I did. I think I'm just being paranoid right now. Looks like we got a deer carcass down here. Let's go ahead and see if we can make good use of that. 7 kilograms of meat. It's not much, but it's enough. What I'm more interested in right now is the 4 units of hide that we can get out of there, because we'll be able to turn those into boots if we can get 10 of them. And so that gives us a grand total of 8 hides. I also think we should bring along the gut just in case, because we're going to be out here for a while, and if we end up having to fish for our meals, I do think the fishing is better out here than it is in the first zone. But if we end up having to fish for our meals, it's going to be important that we have gut, because that's what you make fishing line out of. So there it is. How you make fishing line out of deer gut, I don't know. I think you would probably want to do it with sinew that you've shaved off real thin, but that's outside my area of expertise. That's one of those implements of ingenuity that unfortunately I don't think that I'm creative enough to come up with. More newsprint, lots of kindling, like more kindling than you could ever want around here. But then again, we do use a lot of paper-related products in human life, so maybe that's just this thing that I've been underestimating the entire time. Like, how much paper do you use? I don't use paper, like, at all, hardly ever. I don't print anything. I don't really do anything. I did back in college, I guess, but then again, I would usually just, like, take it from campus, because our campus, I was really, really happy. My department when I went to college was really, really good about, like, supplying us with all the things we needed. So, for example, in the back of our department, like the dean's office or whatever, they just had stacks of supplies, and if you didn't have the money or whatever, you just talked to the dean or you talked to one of the teachers of your class. They would verify that you were enrolled in the department or that you were a major, and if they knew you and you're like a senior or whatever, you just walk in and get whatever you want. But they had like food, they had all kinds of stuff at our dean's office. Like, they had loads and loads of stuff to make sure that nobody in the department ever went hungry, nobody in the department ever went without a pen or went without this, that, or the other. Really, really cool stuff, and I actually appreciated sort of that family nature of my department. Then again, there was only like 25 of us in the major to begin with. Half of us were BAs and half of us were BSs. Actually, I think only 3 or 4 of us were BSs. Almost everybody was a BA. I remember it being kind of weird. People thought it was weird that I was working on a BS in geology. But anyways, kind of like one of those odd situations. Grab this guy over here. Did I already loot you? I already looted you. Let's go upstairs then and we'll grab the rest of the goodies. But yeah, lots and lots of BAs and BSs and stuff just doing their thing. Did I get everything up here? I don't believe that I did. However, this walk, if we get encumbered, this is going to be a hell of a walk back to base. And pretty soon, yeah, we're going to start losing weight because of fatigue. It might be worth it just to stay here overnight. We don't have a can opener. We don't have any food either. There's a fire downstairs, though, wasn't there? Can't really see anything on either of those. Some salty crackers. Come on, Bureau. Give me something. Fleece sweater right there. All right. Come on. I know you got something for me in there. Break it on out. Yep, give up the good stuff. No good stuff. Okay, well, guess that's how you want it to go. I got a water bottle by his bed. When I was younger, I used to sleep with, I haven't been checking the bathtubs. I'm trying to check them from now on. Whoever this guy is that's making these drawers, he's making a fortune out here. Whoever's supplying like all these random like house furnishings, he's got to be making a fortune because he's got like a monopoly on all these people's houses. Beautiful cabinets too. I'd put them in my house. I like the brass work. Kind of reminds me, I don't know, all the wallpaper and whatnot in here kind of reminds me of like old school. You see the old buildings in Europe, I don't know, anyways, as a person from the United States, you see like the wallpaper and like the old furniture that some people have in their houses back in Europe, and that's what it reminds me of, kind of where like everything is an antique in their house. Like you're afraid to touch anything, you like sneeze and you feel like you have to apologize. You're like, no, my spittle is all over your cabinet that's from 1843. I apologize, my bad. Sorry about them. Like, yeah, it goes right next to George Washington's spit. It's okay. George Washington sneezed on that side. We've never cleaned it. If you lick it, you might be able to get George Washington's cold. I'd be like, ooh, a cold that was born by George Washington himself. Maybe I will do that. Why that's in Europe, I don't know. He probably went to Europe a lot, right? Did George Washington go to Europe a lot? I bet he did. I bet he was up at Europe all the time, straight ballin'. That's what I would have been doing if I was George Washington. I'd be all up in there. I'd be like, hey, you ladies ever seen wood teeth before? Oh, shit. That'd be amazing. That'd be the best day ever. Well, there's less than an hour of daylight left. We don't have a ton of food. To get into the can, we would have to use a knife. Let's go ahead. We'll eat some of our preserved food for right now because I don't have anything else with me. I don't feel like making a fire. I'm being a lazy prick right now, and I just don't want to go out and gather up those various sundries that we need in order to continue existing. And we'll drink a little bit of water, and then we'll just sleep through the night because we didn't get much done today. So there it is. We got a whole bunch of rabbit and whatnot. I'll probably try and eat that pretty soon, too. Let's go for... We'll sleep for 8 hours. That'll give us some of our condition back. I don't know. I just don't know. I'd like to world travel. Be like George Washington, G-dubs, and get around there. Then again, I think I'd like to Ben Franklin it up a little bit better. Ben Franklin seems like he had more fun. Like, if you were going to do the founding father thing, I think that Ben Franklin had more fun doing it. I'd probably go after that. Even though you never got to be a president or whatever, you lived probably the most interesting life ever. Just Ben Franklin it out. That dude was like... Well, I mean, he was a... Let's see here. I don't like to talk about historically, like, people's flaws. But then again, just the womanizing alone, there are so many stories just, like, inside of it, encapsulated inside of that issue by itself, that you just wonder, like, you run a psychoanalysis on some of these guys, like a modern psychoanalysis, and just what would come out? What would pop out the other end on some of these historic figures like Napoleon and, you know... I'm not doing simply, like, United States people. I'm doing, like, everybody at this point, just, like... Random people from all over the globe, leaders and stuff, just, you know, bring them out and do that analysis. This will get us down below our threshold, I think. Eat some crackers, make myself feel good. There's a lot of calories in crackers. I'm surprised. They must be those buttered ones, like the Ritz crackers. Ritz crackers always surprise me with how many calories they have inside of them. And we got 300 calories right there. I don't want to eat a half a can of sardines right now, so I'll probably just leave it alone. Not intuitively excited about the prospects of eating dog food either, but not as worried about it as I think some people would be too. I don't know. This is going to be my last episode that I think I record for... Let's grab... Is there anything right there? There we go. This is going to be the last episode I record before the weekend hits. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the series so far. I'm having fun playing the game. I will probably work my way back to our home base for right now. Over the weekend, I don't know if I'm going to spend time moving things around or maybe reorganizing or relocating here and making it so that all of our stuff is here or what I want to do. I haven't decided on that just yet. It will be a long and sort of tedious process to get it all here, but it will be worthwhile if I can manage it. So I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll see y'all later. Hi to everybody, and I'll see you in the next episode of The Long Dark.